This is the brand spanking new Suzuki GSX-8R. This bike is kind of a big deal. Suzuki doesn't really make new motorcycles, but that's exactly what this thing is. It's got a brand new engine, a brand new frame, and it looks pretty good in this Pearl Ignite yellow. In today's video, we have it here in the shop. We're gonna do a microscopic deep dive on this motorcycle, showing you some stuff that reviewers may not have pointed out, and some of the fun little quirks and features of this motorcycle. Now, of course, the coolest part about this bike is it is a giveaway motorcycle on YamiNoob.co. We're gonna have this thing in the shop for a while. We're gonna do tons of in-depth content with it, testing, evaluating it, and ultimately modifying it to make it the proper sports touring weapon that Suzuki should have built. Now, to get entered to win, all you gotta do is head over to YamiNoob.co, become a member, and you will automatically earn entries to win. You'll also be able to bank up those entries to apply to future giveaways as well. It's a really cool way to get involved with what we're doing and a great way to support the show. You'll also get access to our infamous Discord server, our newsletter content, exclusive content, discounts on the store, and discounts on your Twisted Road rentals as well. If you don't want to support the show and become a member, I totally get it. You can always pick up a hat, a hoodie, a t-shirt, whatever you want, and every dollar you spend will be an entry to win, and maybe there's a cool multiplier going on in the store right now. Okay, let's start off with talking about one of the craziest features on this bike, these front nostrils. So the front of this bike obviously looks like a GSX-R sport bike, and usually this would be a sort of ram air intake system, but actually these nostrils are really more for air dispersion because the actual airbox of this bike is in the back. Come with me. If you remove the seat section here, which by the way, the seat features these really nice little sashes right there that you could use for luggage or to attach stuff. Very smart, Suzuki. Single 5mm hex for the seat back here. We love the way that the Japanese build motorcycles to be so simple to take apart. You slide off the seat, and what do we have here? You can see right behind the battery here is the actual airbox. Two little intakes right there, following us along into the throttle bodies. Quite sneaky of Suzuki, if you ask me. Of course, the beating heart of the GSX-8R is the new 776cc parallel twin, making 81 horsepower and 57 foot-pounds of torque at a little over 8,000 RPM. But there's actually three really interesting things about this engine that not a lot of people are talking about. Number one, it's the new cross-balancing system that Suzuki has pioneered. So, of course, parallel twin engines are known to vibrate and rotate a little bit given their inherent design, especially in a 270-degree crank, which is what this one has, where the crank pins are offset by about 90 degrees. However, this motorcycle features an additional balancer shaft, making it a little bit less vibrational than you would find in other 270-degree cranks. Pretty cool. The other feature this motorcycle has is an easy start system. Now, a lot of motorcycles, you have to put it in neutral, pull in the clutch, and hold that starter button to actually get the thing turned over, but Suzuki has this system where you just simply tap the button and it'll keep attempting to start the motorcycle until it actually goes. The last feature that's really cool about this bike is the low RPM assist. If you're a newer rider, maybe an intermediate rider, you have some troubles getting the bike to actually pull away from a stoplight, Suzuki actually has this system where once the clutch is released a teensy bit, the RPMs actually increase. Let me show you. All right, we have the motorcycle off the side stand in neutral. We're gonna head and turn it on. Now, when I put it in first gear, as I slip the clutch, you'll see it's trying to raise the revs a little bit. Makes it a little harder to stall, which is pretty cool. Okay, another thing I had to point out that I couldn't help but notice is that this tail light is way off the rear of the motorcycle. The entire brake light, turn signal, and license plate light is all here at the very end of the fender. And we have a tail tidy come in for this motorcycle because this really bothers me. But the other funny thing about this is that this tail unit is exactly identical to a Suzuki GSX-R 750 and a 600. I actually saw these motorcycles, the GSX-8R and the GSX-R 750 and the 600s, right next to each other on the dealership floor. And I couldn't help but notice that this is the exact same tail light. So while it is an all-new motorcycle, it does have some parts bin qualities. One thing I hadn't noticed in the press release was that these wheels are actually like a matte gray color. They look pretty cool against the yellow, but I kind of wish they had color matched this to the rest of the motorcycle. The subframe and the rear sets, they're all slightly different shades of gray, and that kind of bothers me. However, up here, you do get radial mounted Nissans, so that's pretty good. Without a doubt, one of the best parts about the GSX-8R is the fact that it has full fairings. For a lot of people, that is really important. This embodies the true Japanese sport bike look, and it's kind of different than other things out there in the market. But don't be fooled, this motorcycle shares a lot with the GSX-8S naked bike. Chief among them, the frame, the geometry, everything's pretty similar. The only thing Suzuki really did of note is, of course, they added this big fairing to the front. They stiffened up the front suspension. So the front suspension is now a Showa unit that's 30% wider, featuring the Showa big piston single function fork. That means rebound and compression are handled independently by each leg of the fork. That transmits to a more stiff and sporty feeling out of the GSX-8R, but don't expect a race bike or anything like that. It's still a tubular steel frame, it's still quite flexy, it's not nearly as razor sharp as a GSX-R 600, 750, or even a 1000. But to be honest, those are massive overkill for the vast majority of people. All right, so check out this sticker right here. Usually these are clear to allow the paint to actually come through, but this GSX-8R sticker is yellow in and of itself. So if you mess up this sticker, you can't just get a logo sticker. You gotta get this specific yellow sticker if you wanna go OEM. Okay, this might just be personal opinion, but I think these rear sets are horrendous. These are ugly, they're huge, they just don't look very good to me. I might swap these out and get something that more closely color matches the subframe or the wheels or the engine cases or something. There's too many silver colors happening here. Those of you planning to put a passenger on your GSX-8R might want to reconsider because this seat is quite tiny. This is a very stumpy little tail section. I'm not really sure your passenger is gonna have very good accommodations other than a quick little ride around town or just have some fun and put someone on the back and show them the almighty torque of your 776cc parallel twin GSX-8R. If you are planning a larger trip with your GSX-8R and you are wondering where the heck are you supposed to put a phone mount, it doesn't look like the clip-ons are very conducive to that, fret not. All you have to do is just pop off this little plastic cap in the middle, revealing the stem and allowing you to slide in your rock form phone mount. One of the more unfortunate parts about the Suzuki GSX-8R is that this exhaust is all welded as one piece. That means that in order to make this motorcycle a little louder, you're either going to have to slice off the catalytic converter like some sort of crackhead, or you can be a Chad and put on a full system exhaust, which is what we're gonna be doing with this motorcycle, along with a flash, because I gotta hear how this thing sounds. This throaty parallel twin deserves to be uncorked. And I will say this exhaust is just kinda ugly from the factory. What's all these dots right there? Again, I know I've harped about the paint, but look, the subframe is this beautiful pearlescent gray. The rear set is this weird cast aluminum. And then the wheel is like this matte gray. And then the engine covers are a different kind of gray. And then the swing arm is like, kind of like an orange peel black. I don't know. I really wish Suzuki had made it a little more coherent with the actual colors and design language here at the rear, because it definitely is missing that je ne sais quoi, in my opinion. Also, the reg rec is right there. Look at that. All right, folks, let's talk about it. The biggest miss, of course, is the fact that this motorcycle, laden with technology, beautiful features, is a ride-by-wire bike. Wow, it's got drive modes, A, B, and C, depending on how zesty you want to make it. But the biggest miss is that there's no dang cruise control on this bike, man. Suzuki, what are you doing? How are you going to get this motorcycle here without cruise control? Come on, CF Moto's entry-level models have cruise control. It's ride-by-wire, and it's supposed to be like a long-distance bike. Well, not exactly long distance, but you know what I'm saying. Come on. All right, folks, that wraps up our little X-ray session on the GSX-8R. If there's anything you want to know about this motorcycle, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know on our Discord server. If you remember, I'm trying to do the most comprehensive evaluation and testing of the GSX-8R that I've seen yet on YouTube. We're gonna have this bike for quite some time. We're gonna be spooning on new tires, exhaust, tail tidy, maybe even doing some of those touring mods we mentioned, heated grips, cruise control. Who knows? The sky is the limit with this machine. machine because I think it's a pretty versatile platform. Remember, over on yammynoob.co, you can enter to win this Suzuki GSX-8R. I've given away over 50 motorcycles valued at over $500,000 over the last 5 years. So get your chances locked and loaded to win this GSX-8R. Have it show up at your doorstep by becoming a member over on yammynoob.co. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Keep watching Yammy Noob!